Justin Baldini's publicist is breaking her silence and defending her actions, and Amber Heard is coming out of the woodwork. Oh, Lord. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. We just had a 2.5-hour stream where we went through the entire Blake Lively lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. I implore you to become a member today and go to our Patreon. You'll be able to watch us go through the full thing together. You'll get more of my opinions on it, etc. Look, spoiler alert, I think they're both in trouble. I think Justin's got a lot of explaining to do. Again, I need to see his side of things. I need to see some more evidence. At the same time, I think there is definitely some misinformation coming from Blake in this lawsuit as well. And this is clearly a PR campaign. He's clearly going to countersue. I think they're going to settle at the end of the day. This does feel like she's trying to make better. And again, nothing's going to help her case more than Amber Heard coming out of the woodwork to say, I saw this firsthand. She's now reacting to it. And here's an interesting twist. NBC News is reporting on this. NBC News is Chloe Molas, the same one who got Jay-Z's attorney and somehow found that Jane Doe victim we reported on and has now been backing up Alex Spiro, his lawyer, her lawyer, Jay-Z's lawyer. She's somehow gotten the mix here too and is now getting Amber Heard to speak out. Amber Heard took to social media, knows about social media, saying she knows this firsthand basically on what Justin has done to Blake. Lively accused Baldoni of harassment, hostile work environment, et cetera, social media campaigns. And the complaints say that Baldoni retained previous PR crisis manager, Melissa Nathan, the same woman Johnny Depp hired during his high-profile defamation case. I don't know why we're connecting these cases, but of course they got it. But there's that ugly face again. In an exclusive statement shared with NBC News, Heard, who now lives in Spain, said, social media is the absolute personification of the classic saying, a lie travels halfway around the world before truth can get its boots on. Who the hell ever said that statement? I saw this firsthand and up close. It's as horrifying as it is destructive. Okay, liar. Nice try, liar. I don't think Blake Lively is going to be excited to have Amber Heard chiming in to try to make it about her. I went through it too, Blake. I feel for you. I hear you. Girl, you are a liar. Stop trying to make this about you and that you were wronged and lied. You lied. You were on tape. Oh my God. And that's the problem with this whole case. It's getting spun in so many different ways and it's becoming this PR disaster that honestly, I don't know what to believe anymore. It has become a mess. And now Justin's publicist is breaking silence. Now, I urge you to go watch my video early this morning with Kirsty. We're both being accused of sort of being part of this sham, destroying Blake Lively. I don't know. We were paid by Justin. It's utter nonsense. I don't know anything about Justin Baldoni. And actually reading this lawsuit, I've become less of a fan of Justin Baldoni because he signed off and has sort of implied that he did do a lot of these things, which are pretty abhorrent if true. Now, again, I want to hear his side of it, but still there's enough in here that the chat and I agree it's bad. It's creepy. He has no boundaries and he needs to do better. And in the text messages that are revealed, his publicists acknowledge this. There's no disputing it. So Blake's not being fully, she's not lying completely, but there's definitely some massaging of the truth here. And now what's interesting is Jernnifer Abel and Justin's lawyer has made another statement we're going to get in a minute, but this comment has now been verified by Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, and other trades as yes, this is really the woman whose text messages were leaked. Here's why, here's what happened, and here's her response, okay? Hi, never thought that this was shared in a Facebook group of other PR experts. Never thought the day would come where I needed to defend myself with my own peers, but this certainly has been an interesting and devastating, quite frankly, couple of days. So here we are, but here are the facts. No, I was never subpoenaed. I found out my private text messages and emails were included in the complaint after I received it on Friday night. And then the New York Times contacted me 1.5 hours after receipt. They had already reviewed the 80-page document and had questions prepared, and apparently also received thousands of pages of documents with our correspondence that we never saw. So it was clear that this was a coordinated effort, but nothing we haven't seen before since I've been working in talent PR for over 15 years. I'd recently left my previous firm at which I still was dealing with this during this campaign with a team who all participated in the campaign and a boss who oversaw it and who had access to my work emails and work phone. So you can deduce from that what you will, implying that her old firm is what leaked the messages, not a subpoena. What the cherry-picked messages don't include, although not shockingly, as it doesn't fit the narrative, is that there was no smear implemented. No negative press was ever facilitated, no social combat plan, although we were prepared for it as it's our job to be ready for any scenario, but we didn't have to implement anything because the internet was doing the work for us. Sure, we talked about it, contemplated if we needed certain things, flagged accounts that we needed to monitor, worked with social team to help stay on top of the narrative so we could act quickly if needed. And yes, we rejoiced and joked in the fact that fans were recognizing our clients' heart and work without us having to do anything but keep our heads down and focus on positive interviews for our client. As the texts show, we sophomorically reveled and again joked privately to each other about the internet's feedback to the woman whose team was making our lives incredibly difficult over the course of the campaign. I'm human. The long hours, months of preparation on top of my day-to-day scope, it felt good to see that although we were prepared, we didn't have to do anything over the top to protect our client. Incredibly difficult, you say? In what way? Funny you should ask. I was notified at the start of the campaign that the opposing team had been planting horrible stories about my client as a failsafe if my client did not comply with the demands set forth for the campaign, which is why we brought on Crisis, as it's not something that I do. My sole job was to put together interviews, screening opportunities, and speaking opportunities for my client in support of the film. A standard scope of work. I did my job. Now, what kind of woman would work against another woman who was a victim of all the things being claimed? Thanks for asking. After reviewing the evidence, facts, and hard proof that countered every single thing that was being claimed and demanded at the start of production, I made a choice to stand by my client of almost 5 years, who had dedicated his life to the equal treatment of others, especially women, who had no incidents of negative treatment of others, who had wonderful community and a team at Wayfair who had all held the same moral fortitude and lived their life accordingly. As representatives, we all have to make that choice. So I did the best of my ability and felt good about our efforts. Is my client perfect? No. In fact, he says he's not perfect. So constantly to the point, I tell him he needs to be less self-depreciating because it could be taken the wrong way. Are Blake's feelings valid? It's not my position to say or speculate what she was feeling in those moments that she claims. And I would never slam a woman for speaking her truth. But at the end of the day, it's not the truth, and there's evidence that proves otherwise. Then as representative as I have to do what I feel is right as well. Interesting coming from her. She's standing her ground and saying enough is enough. This is nonsense. And his lawyer is too. Now, granted, they're of course going to be team Justin because he's paying them and they now are there. But I want to get to this. They're putting a lot of this message in, but I wanted to show you what his lawyer says because I think it's incredibly important. Brian Friedman, who reps Baldoni along with Abel Nathan, started to go on the attack. Tag PR operated as any other crisis management firm would when hired by a client experiencing threats by two extremely powerful people with unlimited resources, Blake and Ryan. The standard scenario planning Tag PR drafted proved unnecessary as audiences found Lively's own actions, interviews, and marketing during the promotional tour distasteful and responded organically to what the media themselves picked up on. It's ironic that the New York Times, through their efforts to uncover an insidious PR effort, played directly into the hands of Lively's own dubious PR tactics by publishing leaked personal text exchanges that lacked critical context, the very same tactics she's accusing the firm of implementing. The messages between Abel and Nathan included key exchange where Abel pushes the crisis team. I think you need to be tough, to which Nathan, of course, we know we can't do this. We can bury anyone. As to how these messages became public, Abel notes they were not subpoenaed. Friedman, the lawyer, has some fiery words to say about the leaked texts as well. JonesWorks was the PR company contractually responsible to promote and protect Wayfair and Justin. Our investigation has determined that on August 21st, JonesWorks utilized a lawyer and security guard to take possession of Wayfair's confidential information through confiscation of Jen Abel's phone. We are continuing to investigate the use of that confidential information, but demands are being made to Stephanie Jones and Leslie Sloan. And once we obtain the evidence, anyone actively involved in any possible connection with this abhorrent conduct will be sued into oblivion. Jeez. So I never thought the day would come. And we already got that part. So I read that earlier. And Lively has said, I hope that my legal action helps pull back the curtain on these sinister retaliatory tactics to harm people who speak up about misconduct and helps protect many who are targeted. we've read his other statement before. But now people like Amber are going to jump on the train and say, yeah, see, I was too. This is what it is. And the reality is, look, I wasn't there. I don't know. We just read the whole complaint. It took me 2.5 hours to read through it. So I urge you to become a member, support our coverage, and go watch that if you want to get more informed on the whole document. I don't really want to support either of these two. It's at the end of the day what I feel like. They're both despicable Hollywood people trying to better their images, and I think clearly misleading people as well. And honestly, I got no dog in this fight. At the same time, my reaction and my coverage of Blake was all based on footage we saw. And I think she does need to take some damn accountability for her actions, particularly with Kirsty, the Junket interviewer who we had earlier, who she was incredibly rude with, along with Parker Posey. And she should have embraced this and apologized to her and said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let's talk. That would have been good PR. She's done bad PR this whole damn time. And I do believe she was insisting on making it more floral and light and not about the DV survivors. Whereas something instead of like, hey, Justin, you go do this and I'll go do that. We'll split the difference and we'll try to maximize the audience. Rather than be so aggressive and you're going to use my cut. You're going to do this, the marketing, which it does feel like was happening. That's where I think she failed. She was powerful. She took control. Justin attempted to defend himself and fight back, in my opinion. At the same time, Justin, you gotta come forward on all this stuff because this is weird stuff. Now you're gonna blame the neurodivergent thing is what he's already trying to claim in some of the text messages we've seen, that he sort of overshares and stuff is what he's going to try to make as his excuse for this. And maybe that's true. He was trying to do it earlier, to be fair. I want to hear from Justin on this because a lot of this does feel inappropriate and I think he does need to address it. And I hope he does. So at the end of the day, there's still a lot to be sorted out. But now many people, I had this one, brother-in-law, Gwyneth Paltrow, Amy Schumer, Paul Feig, the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Blake Lively is doing a full court press of defense to make herself the victim here and to paint Justin as the despicable bully. But I had this opinion as I read the lawsuit, and I'll share it again in this recap. If he really did these things, if he's really the monster and abuser you claim he is, why didn't you stop the movie sooner? Why did you let him make that movie? You had all that opportunity when the strike happened to say, this isn't right. This guy's not okay. This guy's gross. This guy's inappropriate. No, we should not be making this movie with him. We would have applauded you. I would have been like, whoa, what's going on? There would have been proof, all this stuff. You didn't do that. You waited until you made all the money on this movie. It was out in box office. You collected the box office. It was then available for buying on digital download. And now it's literally on Netflix. And now you drop a lawsuit over Christmas. I'm sorry. It's hard to not see this as vindictive as what you claim you did to Justin. So look, while I can hear her and I see some of the things in here seem not good, she shouldn't have been put through them. I'm not going to say she should have. I'm not here to hate women as some people in the comments try to think I am. No, I'm here to try to find the truth. And honestly, I think the truth's in the middle. I think there was inappropriate behavior probably, or misunderstandings or communication that wasn't being said, or boundaries were not being respected. And at the same time, there was definitely a jockey of power and a lot of PR battles that I do feel like Justin was allowed to defend himself in. Just because she did all this, created a contract, and is now trying to use it to say you can never speak badly about me at all, I don't know. I think that's kind of strange. And if you really think he's this bad person, why'd you finish the movie? Why did you go back? When you went back, nothing else happened, which makes me also wonder, well, what really was going down? How bad was it, et cetera, et cetera? I got to hear from Justin. I want to hear more. I'm not sold yet on any of this, to be perfectly honest. I don't know what's going on. All I know is this is going to be used by the media terribly. It's already out there. We're being labeled, I'm misogynistic because I'm not understanding. We were duped. I was duped by the press. And now Amber's using this as a way to get back in the fold of, see, I told you so. Don't buy it. And I need more evidence. What did he specifically do to smear you? That wasn't him protecting his own self. Because I imagine he's going to countersue and bring his own evidence to show that you, Blake, and team were preparing to out him. And you did on that red carpet. If you could shoot a whole movie with him after all those incidents, you finished a movie. You did intimate scenes. You did all the stuff, close kisses, whatever. You finished 2 months of filming a movie. You couldn't stand on a red carpet with other people in between you and just smile and wave like the penguins say in Madagascar. You created a problem on that set, which caused people to talk, because I do believe you were basically like, fall in line, do the press junket, and then I'll expose you. Because if I do it now, the movie won't make money, and then my brands all suffer because I got a lot of marketing that I got to do. Sorry, Blake, I'm keeping it honest. You wanted to make your money before you called out the monster. And I don't know, I find that pretty gross too. I don't like either of you. You both seem like you're out of place. And at the same time, I do feel like Justin's probably got some proof here that you were bullying him too, or that you were jocking your own pig power. That, I don't know, can I fully blame this guy? I don't know. That's where I'm torn. I don't want to fully support him because it does look like some of the stuff he did is pretty deplorable and gross. At the same time, I still can't fully deny or ignore the fact that Blake Lively's incredibly powerful. And it's not just about men and women. It's about control in Hollywood, which Blake Lively has way more. The only reason Justin had any in this, say, is because he bought the book. And there does seem to be frustrations from both Colleen and Blake that they couldn't sell the book to make more money because Justin bought it earlier. What's he supposed to do? Give it up? Oh, sorry, I had the wherewithal to think about that this movie's going to be good, and I bought it before everyone else saw its potential? Oh, yeah, here, Colleen, you can have it back. Make a ton more money. That's absurd. It's absurd. So look, there's a lot here, a lot of nuance that's important. You got to look at it all objectively, fairly. No, I don't hate women. No, I'm not defending Justin. I wasn't there. I don't know. But I know there's a lot more to this than we're getting. And we need to hear both sides of the story. And I'm not going to support either of them right now. This is a PR battle, and it's imperative that you all look through it as it is. This is a press release. This is her side. Let's wait for his side. Let's then compare the notes. And then when this all gets settled and thrown away, we'll all realize, well, I guess it was moot. Didn't matter. This was all just for her to look better. And honestly, I don't think this is going to work. This is the wrong way. This is her making a power move. And I'm very intrigued to see what Justin does next. What do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all alerts, smash the thumbs up as well, and leave your comments down below. Make sure to check out Patreon for the full replay of us reading the full complaint. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful new year.